And with being involved with projects with NASA and SpaceX, we had to go down a very narrow line to not have any controversies.
Lunarbits made history in February of 2024 as a private project landed the first time capsule in history to land on the moon. And this time capsule payload was curated by a private company called SpaceBlue and launched atop a SpaceX rocket and had art, content, and other digital projects. Tanner, the CEO. And so I guess when they see to the moon, you actually did that.
Yes. Yeah. Whenever we say Bitcoin to the moon, the president said it last year at the Bitcoin conference. And my friends pointed and said, yeah, it's already up there.
So how hard was that to do?
For me personally, it was one of the hardest things in my entire life. It took years. There were many, many delays. This was the very first payload or mission for the United States and NASA since 1972. With all of the ambitions that we had with technology, innovation, blockchain, crypto, we wanted to be really careful. So there was a lot of things we had to do that required us to be really careful.
So I mentioned some digital assets are still on the moon, right? Can people access them? What kind of tech is there that allows you to do something like that?
Well, the idea behind the payload was we have 77,000 digitized and inscribed onto metallic disc artifacts up there. So we also have a copy here. And with blockchain technology, we're able to take those inscriptions and inscribe them onto Bitcoin.
And now let's bring in Brandy, who is one of the founding voices and vision holders of Lunaprise, the strategic advisor, storyteller, a woman who is art-centered and on mental health and wellness, and now lives on the moon. What? Is this true?
It's literally a dream come true. I mean, we talk about having visions of going to the moon or in our dreams being there, but we've done it. So this is definitely exciting for people all around the world to see that if you can dream it, you can be it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty incredible. So tell me about your role then in this putting the time capsule on the moon.
So we are one of those voices of the next generation. And so my role is as a visionary holder of the Lunaprise. And I'm a strategic advisor. I'm one of the storytellers of our time. And we have now landed onto the moon.
Now, were you there at the launch of the SpaceX Falcon 9 at Kennedy Space Center when it did go to the moon?
Yes, absolutely. So I was there. I witnessed the entire launch when we were part of the Lunarprize time capsule, which was aboard the SpaceX Falcon 9 at the Kennedy Space Center. We had a range of people who were there with us that supported this mission. And if I told you some of the names, they would just mind blow the audience. So may I share it?
Sure.
Okay, so it was once in a lifetime opportunity with Lorenzo Medici, if you know the Medici family, if you've heard of them.
The banking
And
family?
yeah, and Nova Spavik and Scott Page of Pink Floyd, along with many other pioneers in this blockchain space. So yes, I was there. I was one of the active artists and participants, and it was a night to remember. I mean, I thought for sure that this space launch wasn't going to happen, and it happened on the exact date that we meant it to happen. Let's just imagine a timestamp being on the moon. You know, technology is ever changing. So imagine having a time capsule that allows us to be able to prove that we have the assets there along the side of Bitcoin. So the value is, I can't even announce how valuable that is to artists and, of course, history and legacy projects.
So how can people, Brandy, find out about this, get involved, learn more about the project?
We're at the very beginning, because one of the prize pieces to this puzzle is the multiverse that we've created. And so it's a multiverse platform. It is a Web3 powered platform. You get to experience the art. You get to meet the artists. You get to actually go in there and ask questions. I'm spearheading a lot of these events along with Dallas and the 222 artists that are on this moon mission. If you're an artist, if you're a creator, if you have legacy projects, please absolutely get in touch with us and make sure you come and say hello at our live events all over the world.
Do you have partnerships with music companies, musicians?
So Billboard and Rolling Stones did an article about what we accomplished. We took the very first music catalog and we put it up on the moon. It's named Lunar Records. And it has super rare songs sitting inside of this catalog that go back, you know, to the 1960s and the 1950s, and songs that have never been released by Marvin Gaye, songs that have never been released by Jimi Hendrix are sitting up on the moon. And with being involved with projects with NASA and SpaceX, we had to go down a very narrow line to not have any controversies.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely fascinating to watch how this has all changed over the past. I mean, I've only been watching for 7 years. I know some people have been watching a lot longer. So, Dallas, thank you so much.